Hi everyone, Stephanie Kojak here and welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about clearing sexual energy attachments, and we're getting into the how, we're getting into the what, we're getting into the why, and all those details in order to help you truly understand the nature of sexual energy and why sometimes it can be so ridiculously hard to let go of emotions, let go of thoughts, let go of memories in relation to our exes and in relation to people that we've just had sexual encounters with. And as always, before we begin, don't forget to like, share and subscribe because I would really like you to. So first, what is a cord attachment? A cord attachment is an electromagnetic energy structure that connects two people. These attachments can transfer thought and emotion, which are also electromagnetic in nature, between two people. So if your ex is having a particularly bad day, at the quantum level, you receive this information and it influences and distorts your own thinking and feeling. These energy structures, or cord attachments, can also cause you to repeat patterns of past relationships and reduces the amount of closure you can experience when a relationship is over, basically leaving you with the continued sense of sadness or resentment, much longer than the natural healing or letting go process. Cutting an attachment doesn't always mean ending a relationship. It means releasing problems that repeat endlessly. Don't confuse clearing a cord attachment as not caring about a person. And if you are here because you're considering ending a relationship and you're unsure whether or not to cut the cord, cut it, because it can help you make this decision wisely without distorted thinking based on the fear of loneliness or the fear of not being good enough. It will only make the relationship better if you choose for it to continue. For example, Kate wanted to stay married to Ben, but it was a struggle to deal with his mood swings. Having cut their cord of attachment, she found that she could love her husband without taking on his problems and trying to change him. She regained her peace of mind and was no longer pulled down by his low vibrational emotional cycles that he went through, so she could remain a source of great peace and comfort and stability for Ben. And over time, he began to rise up to her level rather than her being pulled down to his. A great healing occurred in their marriage by cutting the cord attachment. Love is not the same as an energy attachment. Think of love as a beautiful flow, an infinite stream of light between two people. And think of a cord attachment as puppet strings. Love cannot be manipulated, cut, influenced, or used. Love is the light that disperses all darkness, all fear, all anger, all blame, all stress. Love is who you are. It is not a medium of exchange. So, now we know all this stuff, let's get down to the actual how to cut cord attachments or cutting sexual energy attachments. If you are here because you have ended a relationship with a partner, or even just had an intimate physical sexual encounter with another person, whether it was sex or kissing or anything in between, you've created an attachment or a connection. This is natural, this is human nature. If you have already done the Cut Sexual Energy Cords meditation on my channel and still feel intuitively a connection to your ex or whoever this person is, by being emotionally affected by thoughts of them or memories of them, it is because this experience holds a great lesson for you. Once you have learnt this lesson, the situation will fall away gracefully, along with the resentment or the unforgiveness or the hurts or that sense of unfinished business. And the energy attachments will be released. Like all things, you must be willing to recognize your role in the process of letting go and cutting ties. Because often unconsciously, we reinforce our sense of self through blaming or playing the victim, and even enjoying the drama. It may be all we have known in relationships and it feels very familiar, and at an unconscious level, familiarity feels good. nature, human nature again. Now, this may not be your case, but it's so common, and I've experienced it myself, that we have to go over it first. And if we do see that this is a case, great. Now we know and we can work through it. You don't know what you don't know. That's my favorite saying. And that's why we look and we observe ourselves non-judgmentally. We gather the data and then we get to work. Like the warrior who succeeds in battle does not go in without first learning more about his opponent, scoping out the battlefront and conversing with trusted advisors. There is an intelligent process to any inward journey. We don't just leave reason and logic at the door because we call in the angels or higher guidance or meditate. In order to cut cords effectively, you have to find out what patterns are a feature in your relationships or relationship with this person, and you need to learn from this pattern. For example, are you continuously in relationships playing the role of the parent? Are you always cleaning up, paying the bills, planning everything? And as a result, feeling resentment and frustration that turns into anger, that turns into arguments, and eventually leads to a very argumentative and messy breakup? Or are you continuously in codependent relationships where you actually give up your individual interests and hobbies in the name of love, causing isolation? You might even stop seeing your friends and family when you're in a relationship. Usually this pattern ends in a traumatic, drawn-out breakup that leaves you feeling completely lost and struggling through each day, just wanting to speak to them and wanting to see them again. So, take time, recognize your pattern. In many cultures and belief systems across the world, the recommended technique to do this is the practice of meditation. Because in the meditative state, we are not engaged in the thought stream. We're just watching it, just observing it like a bystander that's not emotionally involved in the event. According to Chogyam Trungpa in The Way of the Warrior, which is a great book, I highly recommend, one of the main obstacles of self-observation in meditation and journeying within is the habitual patterns that allow us to deceive ourselves. He says in the book that when we first take time out to meditate, we are faced with our guts, our real shit, our most undesirable parts of ourselves. So we think, ooh, maybe I'll do this later. I'm not in a good place right now. And we put it off and we flick on TV and we numb ourselves. Or we scroll for the bottom of the Facebook feed, which doesn't actually exist. I'll tell you right now, I tried it once when I didn't like what was inside of me, or maybe like 18 times. But we are warriors, and to be a warrior means we must be honest and brave. We have to look at the embarrassing stuff, the ugly stuff, the scary stuff. Work with it, meditate on it. This is true spirituality. No one is going to come along on a white horse. It's not all puppies and rainbows and positive mindsets. We have to let go of the idea that we can become awakened, peaceful, and powerful people without going consciously through our own pain. We have to be real. We have to be with ourselves. So, in order to do this, I've developed a meditative visualization. And as you're going through this meditative visualization, have a journal ready to jot down all your insights and downloads that you receive as a result of the practice. But I will have the MP3 version of this meditation available for download in the description box down below, because it's a lot to remember. And let me know in the comment sections if you actually want this as a separate video, and I'll upload it. I'll just go through it with you now quickly. It might be a bit of a longer video as a result, and then you can go to the MP3 download, and when you have actual time, I don't know where you're watching this video right now, but take a couple of hours out of your day to do this consciously without distraction.
To begin this visualization, find a quiet and comfortable space where you know you won't be distracted. Play some soft meditative music in the background and go through a few breathing cycles to center and ground yourself into the present moment. Then, when you feel ready, begin to see yourself sitting in a beautiful natural setting, perhaps next to a river or under a large and ancient tree. Then call in your higher self energy to protect and guide you in doing this sacred inner work by repeating these words with your inner voice or out loud. I call upon my divine highest self energy. I acknowledge, allow, and accept your presence. I ask you to guide me in learning the lesson that my relationship with, insert name, holds for me. I ask you to protect me and allow only that which serves my highest good to be revealed to me. Then bring up this person in your mind's eye, see them clearly, and call upon the energy of this person's divine highest self by saying, I call into this time and space to be here with me, insert names, divine highest self energy. And visualize you and that person's highest self sitting together in your setting. This is in whatever way works best for you. I like to see mine and the other person's human-shaped body and features, but instead of flesh and bones, we are as particles of golden light. Then ask your own higher self what the lesson is that your relationship with this person holds for you, and ask what is seeking to be healed. The answer will come as a thought, emotion, or memory. Remember, we are energy, and so is thought and emotion. This is the language of your inner world.
This higher perspective is powerfully transformative. You are no longer interacting with the person's personality or ego, but their own higher self and their own soul. It will transmute the attachment and send all of the energy that made up its structure back to its rightful owners, renewed in the blueprint of love. Then, once you've done all this, you've found all the information, you've jotted it down, you understand your patterns, you understand your feelings, you understand what's going on in your relationships, you must do the violet flame meditation. The violet flame is a comprehensive and extremely powerful clearing meditation, and it transmutes all negative energy right down to the subatomic level, or hooks or cords or attachments. But remember, clearing sexual energy attachments is most effective when you first identify the lessons that this relationship or encounter holds for you. There is a part in the violet flame meditation where you actually call it in and you say, I now call upon my divine high self energy to invoke the violet flame. At this point, simply add, I ask the violet flame to clear any and all attachments between myself and blah, 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 from all aspects of my being. Then go through the meditation, which will take you through all layers of your physical and energetic bodies. It's guided, don't worry. Mike Curley, who's the creator of this meditation, says that to make the violet flame as effective as possible, we need to be specific. Because we have done the work to identify the negative beliefs and emotions and patterns associated with the attachment, the violet flame will be working on this for you as you meditate. Let me know if you'd be interested in hearing more about the intricacies of clearing fears and patterns and beliefs, and I'll try and set up an interview with Mike. He has an amazing source of or wealth of experience in this topic. So don't worry about all the details of that. I'll have it in the description box down below for you to go through. It's not as complex as it sounds, and when you go through it, all makes sense. But yes, the process will take time. It will take time in which you must be focused and attentive. It's not complex though. If you feel you would like some more guidance to work through it, I offer one-on-one sessions that you can book through my website, which will be again in the description box down below. And it's always good to have a guide, especially if it's your first time clearing something like this. But your power comes from knowing yourself. There is no greater way to spend your time on this earth rather than in communion with yourself, learning about your patterns and your programs and your faults and all of your glory as well. Call in your spiritual support team to oversee the process, and know that all of my love and blessings are with you as you embark on an adventure of great healing.